Hello, guys. Welcome back to the channel. This episode is brought to you by Anvil Music and Media, effectively known as Anvil Group. My name is Brett with Anvil Music and Media. I'm so glad that you decided to join me today. Just make sure I got my mic on. I appreciate all of you guys out there, the subscribers, those who may be watching this for the first time on replay. Um, appreciate your support. We're about 30 episodes in with the live version. I've actually had the opportunity to transfer some of this audio over to YouTube Music, which has allowed me to be labeled under the podcast section of YouTube. So, um, kudos to Anvil. I'm excited about that. It's just yet another channel that we can sort of bring you news and updates. And my perspective on what I see in the tech industry as well as computer industry. So this is all my perspective. This is where I come from. This is sort of what I bring to the table in terms of just my opinion on how things are going tech wise in the future of tech, what tech looks like. So to you, I appreciate. Thank you again to all the sponsors, those who sponsor me out there. Uh, there are companies, individuals that are sponsoring this channel as we speak. We have sponsors, and I appreciate you guys for the sponsorship. Individuals as well. We also have people that and companies that we are in brand deals with. So, uh, content creation has been an exciting ride for me. Starting out 3 or 4 years ago, didn't know really anything, and it's kind of funny because my first video, I go back and watch, and I'm like, I cringed at my first video. I don't know if anybody else has any videos or content online, and when you first start, you kind of just really winging it, as we sort of all do. Recording, editing, jump cuts, and all of this good stuff. You're just learning the system. You're learning how to present yourself online, and it's not the easiest of things. So, uh, Diddy, yo, what's up? Thanks for joining. You are the first to comment. Appreciate your comment. But in this content game, it's sort of a long it's a long haul. Like you gotta like stick with it. So as a Mohammed, hey, what's going on? Hello to you. Thank you for uh commenting. Diddy, thanks for the subscription. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for rocking. Um, and to those that don't know, once again, my name is Brett with Anvil Group, and I think you'll get to be able to know me a lot better. Just checking out the channel, seeing what I sort of have out there in terms of content, and like I said, I'm starting started this 3 or 4 years ago. Really got into it, and it's just been a passion of mine to sort of share my perspective of down through the years, the things that I've used, the equipment, the computers, the laptops, just everything in general. So I'm excited about where we're going with this. This channel is continuing to grow, so I'm gonna continue to feed it. Hey Mohammed, hi, what's going on? Um, so for me, it's sort of I'm looking into the future of how things are looking tech wise in the computer world. And once again, to the sponsors, I've done different videos on different products, some good, some not so good. I get a lot of, and I'm just talking about me for a moment. I get a lot of emails on the back end, at least 3 or 4 a month, about companies asking me to endorse or to um, they're entertaining to entertain a brand deal on products that they have. So some have, for the most part, I guess a little connection to what I talk about, and some don't. I've done mics, I've done computer equipment, done all that stuff. So I'm just enjoying the ride here, and it's not easy, guys. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you, it's not easy to be in content creation. I think the community is a bunch of amazing individuals. I mean, we run the gamut. Like, we got some weirdos, we got people who are very boisterous, very opinionated, and I'm sort of like, in between, right? I wouldn't necessarily call myself a weirdo. Maybe I am. Let you decide. But you know, the wheel of life just keeps turning, man, and we're here riding it out. So I appreciate you guys for just joining, for being with me, and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I thought I was gonna do a studio tour today of my studio, but yeah, today we're just talking, we're just getting right to it. There are a few things on my last live. We talked about a lot of things, uh, more specifically with Apple, and I'm going to drill down a little bit today. We're going to talk a little bit about what things look like for Apple, um, and I just it's just not a great streak right now for Apple as a company. I think they sort of took a hit earlier this year with the iPhone industry. We're now in the second or seventh, one, two, three, four, five, six, seventh consecutive quarter of decline in certain countries, more specifically China. Now, from a world population standpoint, um, China and India, like, those are the top markets, right, um, for Apple to sell their products, and more specifically their iPhones. I know the U.S. is a great uh, is a great country, so as far as like, um, with the connection to Apple, and but the world population, I mean, it's a big world. Apple is global, and to be declining in a country that has, I don't know how many people China has, but it's a bunch of people, and to have slumping sales is not sort of a good thing. So I feel like we're at a crossroads in that in this industry of iPhones. Like, iPhones were revolutionary when they first came out. Um, you do not live on this earth and not have access to, or know someone that does not, or that does have an iPhone. Like, it's they're everywhere. I've probably owned about 6 or 7 different iPhones. So, you know, but Apple currently is ranked fifth in China's smartphone market. Would you believe that? Um, According to an article, they shipped about 9.8 million units, resulting in a market share of about 13.7%, down from 17.4% in the previous quarter. So it looks like they've just been on a decline. They're no longer number one. And, so I feel like, for me, the iPhone has been a product, sold on a platform. Apple has this great platform, and they're selling products, they're selling services, but we are headed in the direction of where products are going to become, or they have already become, services, which have also turned into subscriptions. Uh, Someone asked, let's see, PBA said, "Where did I go before?" Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I started the live earlier, and something happened. Like, I had some, let's say, technical issues, so I just came back on. But thanks for the comment. Thanks for rejoining. I appreciate it. Um, but in talking about the history of products, so technology has always started with a product, something that you can hold. I don't have anything in front of me. For example, this external hard drive, Lacy. I love Lacy. This is a solid material. It's a product. Now the industry, or the tech industry, is heavily invested in services, right? It's becoming a service-based industry. So a service, whether it's a service with and in general, I'm talking about in general, whether it's a service with, you have like taxi service, Uber, if you have other services, even online services, digital, a digital presence, a service there. The industry is headed in that direction. So, and why am I saying this? And I think this, I'm saying this because I think this has a lot to do with what the crossroads that Apple is right now currently. There's an analyst, Will Wong, that says that Apple's high in pricing, it has limited its ability to benefit from subsidies by the government. So that, I mean, that's a whole nother story. I mean, we've been talking about tariffs. I even released a video and I talked about how tariffs have sort of really, I don't know if it's leveled the playing field, but it's sort of put it's inserted some uncertainty into the overall market. So, the iPhone faces difficult times ahead in the US. So as a result of these tariffs to China, like I think at one point, don't quote me if I'm wrong, but the tariffs were paused on iPhones and Apple. Uh, the tariffs were paused by the president. But I'm it's of my belief that Tim Cook is working in the background quietly to shield his company from the fallout of 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 all of these tariffs on imports. So, and there's a whole bunch of communication between Tim Cook and the Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. This is big money, big business, right? So these sort of goods that are now turning into services, and my fear is that Apple has become stuck in the goods portion of consumerism, or not consumerism, the goods portion of selling this product to its consumers, and they've gone from that to now they've been stuck in that, and they've it's being hard for them to sort of get out of just selling just products, and services are becoming the industry norm. So, Bart, what's going on? Thanks for joining again. Appreciate you. So we've got this transition from products to service. Now, technology is such now, even with AI and how AI is artificial intelligence, if you want to call it Apple intelligence, cool. We're sort of entering a period now, and we're already there to where uh, the technology is becoming an extension of who we are. Like, for example, AI is an extension from for what I do. Let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments, if you guys, which platform you guys use. Are you on Gemini, Perplexity? Do you use ChatGPT? Let me know in the comments. I know we've got an audience out there that uses AI as sort of like an assistant, and I always see these technologies as an extension. The iPhone is sort of is an extension of who we are. Just imagine not having it for a week or two. You'd survive, but it'd be like, oh my goodness, somebody cut my hand off, and it's like having a third hand. It's an extension of you. So these products are extension, but AI more further um, is and has been introduced, and it right now is basically a service. And so we're talking about products versus services here. On the one hand, you have products, which you have the ability to house, to hold, to buy, and to have. And in a previous video, I talked about there being a possibility for us, or for the consumer, the possibility of the consumer renting the iPhone, or subscription based uh, opportunities for the consumer to rent the iPhone. And that's not, doesn't sound too favorable, but that puts us in a realm to where we're going from owning products to now subscribing to. And it's all about, it's all about accessibility. Um, imagine, not even imagine, this is the reality. And that reality is that we're in a world where we are full of excess. Like, we have access to the internet, to our phones, to our screens. And this access opens up an entire world for us. And it's going to keep turning over, and it's going to be, in 10 years, we will be fully access to the world. And it's sort of interesting to me how this access really opens up our worlds to more creativity, to just more innovation. And we have this big space of the cloud. I don't know if you guys realize, like, the cloud is such a huge space. And for those of you who may be watching for the first time, if you aren't familiar with the definition of the cloud, because you're like, somebody's like, yeah, save it to the cloud. Well, where's the cloud? Is it in the sky? Like, what is it an invisible space? Well, the cloud is effectively a network of computers that are interconnected seamlessly. So if you imagine for a moment, if there were to be like four earthquakes in California, or a tsunami to hit a part of Japan or China, and networks went down, well, what the cloud enables, uh, information, how it retains and how it uh, assimilates information back and forth, is, even if networks of computers were down in some part or portion of the world, it would still, you'd still be able to watch your movie, right? Like, if you had a movie turned on and you were in the middle of the movie, it's not going to glitch, or it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop playing, because the cloud is such a huge space. So, I mean, what am I talking about specifically? Well, this cloud is a part of a service, and the service, for some of us, we have to pay for this service. So with paying for a service, we're talking about paying for actual services that are opened up to us. Like, we pay, and then we end up, we're able to have more space. So I just wanted to throw that out there, because some people are maybe confused about, where's the cloud? It's a big network of computers that are just interconnected. Um, this this video is potentially on the cloud. If you watch a movie, like I said earlier, you're watching the cloud. Anything that you're looking on your screen is coming from the cloud. Our screens, our phones, our computers, are just really interconnected to the cloud. So, Bart says, "Oh, the placement of my mic. Oh, so yeah, thanks for that. Saying the placement of my mic makes me sound a little low. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can. All right, let me know how that sounds. That's better. Let me know. How's that sound? Hopefully that's a little bit better. But yeah, your comment says high tech machines are getting complicated and hard to access. So yeah, Bart, yeah, I agree. Um, let me know specifically what you mean by high tech machines, because I believe machines are, by the same token, yes, they are being. It is hard to access. Um, the accessibility piece, though, I feel overall is something that, in like, you're just going to be accessible to everything. Like, you're going to be accessible to, um, how you interact even more with your friends, your neighbors, um, the the instruments or the products that you use, So yeah, thanks, Bart. Thanks for that. You're just going to be accessible, and it's going to cause more connection, even more connection, right? With the introduction of AI, like for example, and we're not far from it. In a couple of years, your day is just going to be inundated of a source or computer that is predicting your every move, right? And so, and I have a video that I'm going to talk about this. And Jordan, hey, what's going on? Jordan, how are you doing? But for me, I'm going to talk about how the AI space right now it's behind the scenes is really, really revving up. Like the information is so vast of what we're now seeing in the AI space. And the video I'm going to talk about, I'll probably release it maybe next week. I'm going to talk about how Google has been able to sort of strong arm the industry, and the secret to Google's success. And it may not be a secret to a lot of us or to some of us, but I for certain had to think about this, about how Google has been able to retain and get information. So much information has been, like, all of what we research and search online, the information that we look at. And I know you see advertisements here and there, but Google's system is retaining all of this information. And there's no privacy, right? There's no privacy at all. Jordan says, good, man. I'm good. I'm doing good. Uh, Bart's talking about quantum tech computers. Yeah, quantum technology. I mean, that's a whole nother space, and we're here, right? Jordan said Google shut down a project that almost became sentient. Yeah, tell me more about that, Jordan. I'm curious as to what you're saying. But I was saying that Google is has for years and years through Google search has been able to retain so much information from its consumer, and not even consumer, because like everybody's used Google, and we all know that there's really no privacy when you search in Google, because your information, and maybe not your personal information, but yeah, pretty much. I mean, it may as well be your personal information, but your interactions with Google, how often you interact, what you search for, where you search, the times you search, these are all placed into algorithms that are feeding you and started to feeding you. And not just that, but there is a whole world of research on you, the consumer. And Google is taking all of this information as information to now build this AI space to now predict what you're going to do and what you're going to research uh, in the future. And I can't begin to communicate or begin to explain just how powerful this is. And we're going to talk to how that what Google's doing is sort of outpacing and outrunning uh, all of the other companies, including Apple, right? So Jordan says Google had an AI program that used its engine. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Worldwide, it started to feel things and say things back to the developers that scared them, and they shut it down, killed it basically out of fear. Oh wow. Okay. I'm curious. What? Let me know what project that is. I have not heard of that, Jordan, but yeah, if that's what's happened, it sort of makes sense, and it's sort of in parallel to what I'm talking about in terms of um, they're getting information, all of the information that they need to be able to access you or assess you, and to be able to predict what what your next move is online. Like, and I know this is, man, it can be scary. We use technology. I believe we use technology to further be an extension of who we are. That's just my belief, right? But with Google doing this, Apple sort of has come out and taught it. Hey, we don't take your information. We're all about privacy, and which is a good thing. But I don't know if they're saying that because they're actually in the business of trying to keep your privacy, or they just know that they're so far behind Google in this space to the point where, and we know they are far because a few months ago Apple has sort of, they failed in, and I mean, I'm saying the F word, right? Failed. They failed in reintroducing Siri, which is a voice activated, supposed to really turn into AI, but it's voice activated system. What Apple uses when you talk to it, talks back to you, and so they're scrambling to come up with a foothold in the AI space. Like, it's kind of crazy, right? Jordan says I can't search it because I use Google. That's why Gemini has had massive updates. Yeah, I'm curious about those massive updates, right? I'm really curious because these what Google is doing, and I really, I've done some research, but I really believe that with all of this information that Google has, like, I mean, you can imagine. I mean, on YouTube alone, I have an analytics page, and it just allows me to see my subscribers, those who watch my videos, those who are new subscribers, how long you guys watch, what you guys watch, what's your favorite. I have a few semi-viral videos online, but the analytics page is just as wide as it is deep, right? So how far do you want to drill down? And Google is the little brother to, I mean, I'm sorry, YouTube is the little brother to Google. So, in saying that, like, you can imagine if I have what I have in terms of analytics on my subscribers and those who follow and those who watch this channel, you can imagine, I would 100x that because I'm a person. I'm just one person. These AI models are millions upon millions upon millions of models that are are taking your information and predicting, turning it into predictive models for its consumers. And by the way, like, we all have Gmail accounts. This is just all information that's going to now be used to come up with this huge space. Now, so Side Who says calculus is the best. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking about calculus, but thanks. Yeah, Jordan says matrix. Yeah, it's a matrix. I wanted to say too, not just Google, but Apple, even though they tell you that we're a company that holds true to our privacy records or our privacy, um, when you sign on to Apple or you buy a computer for the first time, you know, you have the right to share certain information with Apple or not share, and they sort of champion this, right? But I don't know that all of that is true. Apple is also retaining information. Now they may not be using this information. I don't know. But however, Apple is, what I hear is they're coming up with synthetic, what we call is synthetic information. So what this means is they're taking information from their consumers, you and I, if you have an Apple phone or if you own anything Apple, they're not necessarily using that information, but they are. So this is what they're doing. So they're taking the information, retaining it, and they're introducing an AI replica of a human interaction, and it's known as synthetic data. And they're introducing it into and mixing it in sort of like a digital centrifuge, mixing that data in with the consumer data that they've received from their consumers, and they're using this as sort of like it's called like a muddying of the waters. Like, it's not necessarily true data of their consumers, but it's mixing the AI data with the consumer data, and then they're using this to now come up with their next steps in this AI race. So it's all sort of interesting information. I'm sort of excited to hear. Uh, but yeah, this is uh, this is a great space to sort of like sit in. I'm excited because it's you never have enough to sort of like explain and talk about. Uh, let's see, Kaik. Hey, what's going on? Appreciate it. You guys that are watching, don't forget to, if you can, like this video, subscribe to my channel. um, I've just been talking about the AI space, and I'm gonna release a video about this and talk further. But we're just in a place, in a space where access is king, right? Connection is queen, right? Like, if you have the access, you're gonna have the connection. Um, so let's see. Jordan says done. Best convo I've had today. Oh, thanks, man. I mean, you've been a part of it, so it's been a good conversation. I'm sort of excited about the space, and yeah, we've got to really kind of hone in and tune ourselves to what is what is happening in the world of technology. And so yeah, I'm super excited. Thanks for that, Jordan. Appreciate you um, being a part of this conversation. And we're gonna have many more conversations going forward. The last bit of this is Apple is going to be hosting their event. The Apple event is coming in, I believe it's June. So we'll probably get some updates. Speaking of updates, I'm getting all these stupid notifications. The Apple like inundates you with these AI notifications, and that's that's actually kind of similar to what we're talking about, right? They recently came out with these notifications where they're like sort of like trying to predict what you'll need in terms of notification. It's really like basic AI, right? Like, it's a basic space. Like, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited to see and to talk about uh, the new technology, and we're in a world of dematerialization. Did I say that right? Dematerialization. So dematerialization is basically we're moving away from products, and we're going to, oh yeah, I did talk about it, going into services. So it's the dematerialization of products. So products are getting lighter, they're getting smaller. Whatever's in the product is the technology that's going to actually become greater and more. So, in that sense, these products over the years, if you look, for example, the first phone, if it was a flip phone, or it was clunky, it was big, it probably practically came in a box, right? But over the years, there's been a dematerialization of the product because the technology gets so much better. Like, you go from metal to silicone. You know what I'm saying? So, um, this process is effectively called dematerialization. And so, with what we see today, most products are being made so pristine and so they're being made just it's just a better overall quality of product, and the technology that's placed inside them. I'm using like phones for example, is becoming infinitely faster, greater, infinitely like the space is just like it's just a better product. And eventually we will become a world 100% of all services that are sold on platforms. Apple has a platform, they have many platforms. One of Apple's platforms is the iTunes. That's a platform. So, and you're sort of seeing these companies. And I'm going to talk about this more, but you're sort of seeing these companies. Imagine this, right? Imagine a company that specializes. Go with me for a minute. A company that specializes in um, services, taxi services, but does not own taxis, right? Uber specializes in tax services. You can call Uber up, you can get an Uber, and but yet they only hold the platform. They don't actually physically own cars, right? Uh, let's see. There's another one, Netflix, and though Netflix is a big movie company, but Netflix is a platform that actually it's really it's really a service, right? So there's so many companies out here. Amazon, for example. I mean, it started out as a goods place, but it's really a company that holds a service, um, and the service gives you subscriptions. And we all have Amazon subscriptions, and this is sort of like the technology. And this is stuff that we have to really sort of really think through. I've gotten a chance to think and research on this, but yeah. Let's see. Just saw it. Now they don't even need drivers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just saw a video. The company Waymo is a taxi service, and it's all automated driving, right? So, and I don't think Waymo. I don't know if Waymo's been introduced into the U.S. But so you have to know that the technology, that the space that we're in a service based industry, and a lot of these companies they're not going to necessarily own the product that they advertise to you. They're just going to house the platform to sell the service. So it's really something to think about. Something I just wanted to chat and to talk with you. Any questions or comments? I appreciate you guys for joining and watching. Uh, this has been a great live today, and I'm excited. You guys can, of course, meet me every Tuesday and every Friday. I'm here live. If you get a chance, watch the video that I just released just now. I just released not just this video, but video I released on my channel. I even forgot the title. I can't remember what the title of the video was. Watch that. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video. If you are in the market to purchase a MacBook, iMac, maybe a Mac Mini, if you're in the arena and you have questions about what you should be purchasing, maybe you're buying an Apple computer for the first time, you're not sure, you're sort of overwhelmed in the process, because it is an overwhelming process, right? There's so much that is marketed to us. Apple has, and they run so many different commercials and all the bells, whistles, the lights, everything's bright, everything looks good. Uh, what I ask you to do is to click on the link below. I have a MacBook guide to help you uh, with your decision of buying your and purchasing your Mac. And I'm here to help, but this Mac guide is sort of my knowledge and my expertise on what to look for when you're purchasing an Apple product or computer. Um, it gives you the breakdown of if you're in the space of, just wanting to have something, a computer to surf the internet, to do minor tasks, or if you're a graphic designer or some big time movie producer, and you're looking to upgrade, um, this book is for you as well, because it gives you a breakdown of the RAM, the storage, all of the information that's needed for you. So uh, get the guide, get the book. I just wrote it. Came out about earlier this year, and I'm proud of being able to put that together. So the main thing is, uh, I was at a space where I didn't really know, was purchasing or buying a computer for the first time, an Apple computer, and I had to sort of learn the hard way, right? I remember my first Apple computer had 80 gigs of RAM. Imagine that. And the program software that I purchased was like over 150 gigs. So you understand, I couldn't use that computer. Now, this was like probably 20 years ago. But this just goes to show you how important it is to know what you're sort of looking for in the market for. So yeah, go grab that guide. It's going to be in the description. Um, and to you guys, I appreciate your support. Thank you again for this journey to where we're just here. This is a community of we're just like-minded individuals. There are a lot of people online talking about Apple channel, and like I'm sort of like the guy with like the normal screen. Like I don't have visual effects, and I'm not like this is who you see is who you get. Like it's not me behind a camera. Like I'm behind this camera, but I'm actually live talking to you. If I make a mistake or if I cough, this is actually real time, right? And I'm interacting with you. So I sort of bring a realness. I I bring myself into this space, but uh, I'm also aware of my audience, and so I appreciate you all so much for joining. And like I said in the beginning of this video, this has been a ride for me. Content creation, we're not done by any means, right? Just getting started. Just getting started. This is me just getting. I started strong. I had to take a break. That was cool too. Thinking that in the middle of me taking a break, I was doing a bunch of shorts, so I kind of was still in the space. But now I'm back and I'm strong as ever. So thank you guys again for the support. Shout out to Jordan, man. Jordan, thank you, man. Thank you so much for putting that out there. And yeah, we're gonna do all of that, man. We're gonna do problem solving, do all of that. But you guys have a great weekend. I will see you soon.